So, calling this meeting to order. We have an agenda in front of us. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed. We have the minutes from December 2nd that I'm sure we all reviewed. Are there any amendments, or if not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so this would be where the staff report is. I'll go ahead and say Dorothy has rolled off, and we will welcome Kyle Stribling to the Courthouse Square Historic Commission. Glad to have you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you for your service, Kyle.
Yeah,
You're welcome. Thank you.
And that's it. We don't have any.
that's the staff report.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, first case, number 470, COA requested by Bank Plus. Elizabeth Allen, but I understand that Randy Hill is representing it to install signage located at 400 South Lamar Boulevard. Kate, please take it away, and Randy will ask you to speak on its behalf once Kate is done.
Okay, so we're all very familiar with this building, 400 South Lamar Boulevard. I can pull it up for you guys once we're done with the staff report here. It's the Bank Plus, formerly Oxford Gourmet and Gifts in Buff City Soap building. Bank Plus, who is a current tenant of the 3-bay commercial building, is expanding into the middle retail bay. I'm sure you guys have seen, they've gutted the inside and they're working on that project currently. They would like to remove part of the signage on the far left bay, which reads Bank Plus Mortgage Now, and they would like that to read Bank Plus Oxford. And they would like to remove the Oxford Gourmet and Gifts signage, obviously, because that business has literally left the building there. And so the reason that this is coming to you guys tonight is because when this building was converted, it actually predates me on this commission too, but I understand there was a lot of discussion about an overall signage plan for the building. What would that look like? And so far the signage has remained consistent on the 3 awnings since that plan was approved originally. And so we had some concerns about removal of the signage on the middle bay. The middle storefront is not going to be used by the bank as an entrance. So their conference room is there, and if I understand correctly after speaking with Randy today, that'll be the entrance into their ATM vestibule, but it won't be a functioning entrance into the bank. So that's why they would like to remove the signage. However, the storefront windows and doors remain in place, essentially leaving sort of an empty storefront. So I brought that to you guys for discussion, if that's appropriate. So we are recommending approval of the proposed change. There's nothing in the guidelines that absolutely dictates that they must have signage at this. It's a sort of an one-off situation. So that's why we're here for discussion today. Did we lose Randy? No, Randy's here. So Randy Hill is here on behalf of the sign company who is doing signage for the bank. So Randy, if you'd like to speak, you're welcome to, or you can have the commission ask you questions.
I'll take questions. We propose what the bank wants, and if there are any changes, we'd have to entertain those.
So if I understand right, Oxford Gourmet and Gifts is going away.
Mm-hmm.
So we will have Bank Plus Oxford and then the soap signage.
No, the soap signage is being removed. And then, oh, sorry, yeah, the Oxford Gourmet, yeah. Big Plus Oxford blank soap signage.
Yeah, okay. And the signage of the new signage is going to be exact same style. It's just going to say Bank Plus
Oxford
Oxford.
instead
Okay.
of mortgage.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, but exact same style, signage, same lighting, everything. Okay.
But it'll only be on the left side, not on the center
Correct.
side. Right.
The overhang will be taken down.
I don't believe so, no.
So, in speaking to Kate before, I'll channel this, please. The reason Kate felt like this needed to come before us rather than just being kind of a staff level approval is because there's a lot of history on the signage of this building, right?
Yeah.
Y'all went through a lot of back and forth on what it's gonna look like, the style, the symmetry, everything. And so this is a pretty big change to that. It's kind of odd to be reviewing whether someone is allowed to remove signage from a building, but that's the background on it. Okay,
Correct.
all right. Any discussion among the commission?
I move that we approve COA 470.
Second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Nope. Let's have a vote. All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Thanks, Randy.
So you're approved,
Thank you, appreciate it.
I think that, before we call the next case, if it was like the right or the left going away, I would probably be a little more curious about it, but for me, it's still symmetrical. We still have one and one. and then-
Yeah, it was just out of the ordinary, so I didn't feel comfortable doing anything administratively.
Yeah.
And it being an ATM entrance too,
Yeah.
it's still functional.
Yeah. And I think it was also thrown out, they could, if we really wanted to sign, they could put ATM, and we all felt that was even, that was.
So much work.
Yes, so much worse, that's right. All right, case number 471, COA requested by First Baptist Church to install signage located at 714 Jackson Avenue.
Okay, so this is the building next to the Burns Belfry on East Jackson that used to be a bank. I think Ben's pulling up the case. And it's now owned by the First Baptist Church of Oxford, and they use it for programming and that type of stuff during the week and on the weekends. They're seeking approval to install 2 signs, one lighted monument sign and one wall sign. The proportions and design of both the monument sign and the wall sign are appropriate according to our design guidelines. The reason that the case is before the commission is because the monument sign is proposed to be lighted. And it's uncommon that lighted signs are approved in our historic districts. So that's why we brought it to the commission today. The monument sign is 3 feet by 4 feet. The sizing of the sign and the simple nature of the lettering are appropriate based on the design guidelines. However, lighted signs are not recommended. The design guidelines would encourage, instead of internally lit signage, that the monument sign be lit by ground lighting. Monument signs are a little bit uncommon for this commission to consider just because most of our signage goes onto the buildings in the historic district and there's not a lot of room for monument signage. One other item to note, and the applicant is aware of this, the cabinet underneath the monument sign, according to the land development code, must run the width of the entire sign. So that would be a condition of approval and would be confirmed before they were able to get any kind of permit for the sign. So staff is recommending approval of the signage request for both the small wall sign and the monument sign, with the conditions that the monument sign is not internally illuminated and that ground lighting could be approved. And also with that condition that the monument will feature a solid base that is the width of the sign. And Lanny Shackelford is here on behalf of the church. Would you like to say anything?
As you know, this used to be, the last time this building was used, it was Trustmark Bank. We purchased it, the church purchased it about a year and a half ago. And since then, it's separated from the main building by almost a block and actually on a separate street. So it's used extensively and even in late afternoon, early night. And we just needed some way to identify the building. The driveways are so small that it's so easy to miss. And that's the whole idea behind the sign.
Okay, thank you. You might as well hang out if you can. We may have some questions for you. That's all right. Commission, any questions or comments? All right, I'll jump in. Yeah, so internally lit signs are generally not approved. I asked Kate, when was the last time that this commission actually approved internally lit signs, and we struggled to come up with one. Halo lighting behind, like we just saw on the one before, has been approved, but even those, that was a lot of discussion. So generally internally lit, glowing sign boxes like that are one that this commission has not approved in the past. And so that's why you're here rather than just being an administrative approval. A lot of signs are just approved by staff.
Is there a particular reason y'all went with the internal illumination rather than?
Instead of lighted from the ground.
Yes, sir. For any other kind of
if you know how big this little spot of grass is, and if we would need to put a light on both sides to accomplish the same thing we're accomplishing here. It makes the landscaping really difficult. And they're right on the side of the sidewalk. Makes it very handy to take advantage of them if you're walking by. And that's a hot area for traffic after the square closes down on them. So we were trying to minimize that as much as we could.
I see.
Is Goolsby lit from the inside?
I think it is. I was just looking at that picture.
But that probably predates this commission.
Correct.
The Trustmark sign that was there previously was not like,
It's not a head.
yeah, it was a monument sign. It had ground lighting.
Yeah. The previous sign was internally lit, Trustmark sign.
I thought I had ground lighting.
When they took it down, they had to unhook the wire from the inside of it. No, I never did that. I'm sure I drove by it,
Sure.
but I never paid any attention, really. But I know the power supply did go inside the sign.
Well, hearing no more comments, now is the time when people kind of start to sound off on the commission of their thoughts and feelings on it. So I'll start that sounding off. I, for one, would not be for a glowing sign box like that. And I know it seems like, you know, if it's landscape lighting pointed at it, it's kind of the same thing. What's the difference? But there is a difference to me. So, yeah, I for one, because it's a slippery slope. If it's this, then it's the next, and then we have a lot of lit signs up and down our square on the building or a monument square. So for me, or a monument sign, for me, I would be inclined to vote for a motion that approves it, but not for it to be internally lit, for it to be externally lit by landscape lighting.
I share those sentiments for what it's worth.
I do as well.
So, sounds like you've got at least a majority of the commission, but,
Are you okay with extending the base
Oh, yeah.
to the
Yeah.
guidelines?
Yeah, and we'd already thought we'd do that.
Yeah.
We just had to redone the whole,
So is there room, do you believe there's room to light it from the ground up?
yes, there is room for the two lights, but I'm assuming it'll be such an obstacle and such a, if you know the problems we've had with the gates over there, it's just an invitation for somebody to, especially after you came off the square, when you're feeling real good, and
kick it or whatever.
if it turns out we cannot light it internally, we just regroup and try to figure out a way to where we didn't have to put the lights in the ground.
What about your other sign? Can you talk about it just a bit? The
Ma'am?
sign on your building?
No,
Is that any lighting on that sign?
no, there is no cornice lighting there.
Well, I guess I would ask, do you want to table this and come back, or do you want to hear a motion to approve it with it
Yeah,
not being internally lit?
I think you need to go ahead with the motion.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we know where we stand.
Right, okay. Someone want to make a motion for us to, I guess it would be to approve the signage with staff conditions?
I'll move that we approve the signage subject to staff conditions.
Second?
All right, hearing a second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No, okay.
So we're good to go if we do not internally light it?
Yes, sir. With that, and if the cabinet is extended, so when you come for your permit, we'll put that in with the permit. Yeah, I don't know we're on the same page with that.
If we can come up with another way to light it, we
and they've granted the staff permission that staff could approve any external lighting, so I'm happy to
Yeah.
talk to you about that.
It just will allow-
There are attached lighting that still lights,
Gooseneck?
gooseneck lighting attached to it or something like
No,
that.
we're happy to
There are
talk
lots
to you
of
about it, yeah.
different ways that it could be accomplished.
Yeah. All right, that's all of our cases. Any other discussion with staff or among the commission?
Actually, yes, I should have said this in the staff report, but Archives and History has sent dates for regional training that I'm going to forward on to you guys. There's Preservation Boot Camp, which Kyle may be going to. And then the one that's like in our region is going to be in Boonville. So I'll send you guys the date for that, if anyone's available to go. So that is forthcoming.
Do we have to have somebody go?
One person has to go to training. Yes.
not necessarily boot camp.
Right. Boot camp's in Jackson. Day-long training is in Boonville. One person from the commission must go for us to maintain our certified local government status, which is how we get money.
Very important.
I did the boot camp, right, in Jackson. I actually enjoyed that, for what it's worth.
If Kyle goes, he
Yeah,
goes there.
I think I'll probably go.
Right.
So that so Kyle goes,
It's initiation, right?
Talking about.
so Kyle goes, we don't have to go to Boonville?
Yeah,
Nobody has to do anything. Come on, Kyle.
he's checking his schedule.
Checking my dates.
I actually really did enjoy it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, we can nerd out a little down there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, if there's no other business, can we hear a motion to adjourn?
You have something?
Make a
So
motion to
moved.
adjourn.
All right, I heard two motions, so we'll take that as a second. All in favor? Aye.